What's going on, my people? It's another installment of Javon Unplugged, and I just wanted to share a little thought that I had a little earlier with you guys. I was driving home from work and I was listening to talk radio as usual, get my daily dosage of bullshit from a rightist point of view. But again, anybody that knows me knows that I listen to it just to hear alternative points of views and to build up an immunization against some of the craziness that it seems that right-wing folks or conservatives typically view as being important as far as our country is concerned. But I was listening to a random talk show host today whose name will remain anonymous, and he was basically begging and pleading for Donald Trump to stop being Donald Trump. So, I mean, I know that sounds funny, but basically what he was saying is, Donald Trump, stop talking through your social media and on these other media platforms impulsively and just speaking your mind. They feel like he's this close to winning the presidency, and now all of a sudden he should be acting very presidential. And in light of the last couple of days of things that this guy has stuck his foot in his mouth about, the guy was basically just begging for him to allow his surrogates or his handlers go out and speak on his behalf and fight these little small battles on the media stage and focus all his attention on debunking Hillary Clinton. But to me, it just sounds stupid. It's like, this is what got this guy this far. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone was talking about the fact that he's not the status quo politician. He's not politically correct. He speaks his mind. He says what middle American white frustrated males have been feeling for the last 7 years, having a black president at the helm of our country. And they immediately said, hey, don't worry about the Republicans. That's the old avant-garde. They don't really have America's best interests at heart. They're sold out politicians, and welcome Donald Trump and all his craziness into the fold. So we've been watching this poll numbers go up and down based on the fact that this dude just says whatever it is he has in his mind. But now all of a sudden, now that we're within 90 some odd days of the election, now they want him to temper himself. And the guy even let the cat out of the bag. He was like, hey, you have to stop using your social media irresponsibly, because then the segment of the population that doesn't really have the opportunity to know who you are going to start thinking you're impulsive, and they're going to start thinking that you have thin skin and that you're very, very petty. Newsflash, the dude is petty. He is very impulsive, and he does have thin skin. That's why every time you say something to him, oh, he's jumping right into the fray. He's getting off on that floor. No matter where he's at in the elevator, he's getting off on that floor, which to me is not a very, very smart approach. But again, that's what's gotten him this far. My question to this radio show host or any of these other people that are now calling for Donald Trump to watch what he says, I mean, I can remember getting this tattoo right here that, says laugh now, cry later. But I didn't get it because of laugh now, cry later. That's a very popular saying. Back when I gained knowledge of self, one of the things that I really realized about this earth and about our human interaction and about our desires as humans is a very, very simple premise. Sometimes the same things that make you laugh can make you cry, i.e., better be careful what you ask for, because what you think you want, when you get it, you might not really want it. So see, this is how I feel. I feel for anybody that's thinking about voting for Donald Trump, or anyone that's going to sit out this election cycle and not vote because they don't want to vote for Hillary, don't want to vote for Donald Trump, basically don't want to do their citizenry job, which is to help vote. And anyone that talks about electoral college, that's a totally different subject. But before I fly up on this tangent, the bottom line is that if Donald Trump wins the presidency, I want everybody to be able to say, hey, you knew what you were getting yourself into. This dude has pulled no punches. This guy has not been politically correct. And matter of fact, he goes out of his way to be politically incorrect. He says that he's not the average politician, he doesn't know politics, but in reality, whether we like it or not, the most politicized job on this planet is that of the President of the United States. Bottom line. So you got a guy that has zero experience in politics about to vie for the job, which is completely political. Then you have a guy that's a loose cannon that because he's a billionaire, he really doesn't have to answer anybody because really, if he gets pissed off, he can just pack up his tent, grab his ball, and go fly and live on an island, and he's not really impacted by anyone in America. You know, that's why he's so brash, and that's why he's so cavalier when he's talking behind that podium. I mean, he's a frail-looking old guy, so I mean, he's not really tough, but he talks tough. You understand what I'm saying? But the bottom line is that the reason why he's able to get up here and do these things is just basically we said he has not been bought by anybody. But I want to leave you with this thought because this is something that I always go back to. And here's the number one reason why I would never vote for Donald Trump under no circumstances. Bottom line. First time they had the debates when it's 17 deep on the stage. He couldn't help but to remind, or maybe 12, I think 5 were at the JV table and it was 12 of them, whatever the number is. When they first had the first Republican debate and he stood there and he looked side to side and he was like, you know what? I have bought or contributed to most of the people on this stage's campaign. And you know when people like me who are donors do, we buy politicians. So here's a guy that said, and he was like, the reason why I'm a very, very qualified person is because I know that side of the game. But this is what I immediately put together. 2 and 2 equals 4 all day, every day, whether you're in China or you're in the United States. The bottom line is the guy said that I have been willing to use my money, my influence, and my power to manipulate others and to buy whatever it is I wanted for my corporate ambitions. Question is, what do you think he'll do if he becomes the president of the United States? I don't know, folks. I'm just a simple man with a simple plan. You know, I'm just the broken man that feels like I can fix it all. But until I have another thought or contemplation that I feel like getting off my chest, I'll leave you guys with that. One thing I want to encourage everybody to do is to vote. I'm not going to beat you over the head about it, but in this day and age, you can't help but to vote. And I'm not talking about voting for the president of the United States. I'm talking about from the how do you say it, gubernatorial level, the governor level, all the way down to your alderman. I mean, vote for folks within that part of the ladder because they have the biggest effect on your life and the lives of others in your community. So if nothing else, vote that way. Who cares about if you vote for the president? But again, you know, this is just a simple man, you know, sharing some thoughts. You're welcome to chime in, debate, dispute, give your own perspective. I don't have thin skin. I love having conversations. So on that note, I'm going to go. But until the next time, folks, peace.